Welcome to Be Better Thursdays, a video every Thursday to inspire you to be the highest version of yourself with strong vida. Be better every day. Hi everyone, happy Be Better Thursday to you. I'm so glad to be here. I'm really happy to share everything that happened to me this week. And I also, before I do that, I want to talk about my last video, which was to be aware of duality and how I am practicing that. And this one, it's been a really big lesson for me. It's definitely a work in progress. So when I say work in progress, what I mean is I try it once and I fail, I try it again and it fell, and then I try it one time and it works, and then I try it again and it fails, and it's just like off and on like that. It just works like that. In this case, the example I want to give you and what I'm focusing on with this lesson is my mom, my relationship with my mom. I have a really nice relationship with my mom, but for some reason there are some relationships in your life that you're going to notice how you can manage certain principles a lot better than in others. And in my relationship with my mom, I have a hard time managing changes, and changes are a fact. So we are always gonna experience changes. We all know that. So we change everything. In a relationship, everyone changes everything. We change our point of view. We change our interests. We change the way we see life. We get older. We have different perspectives in life, different desires. We could get more tired of things. We could get new interest that comes into place. We get rid of friendships. We have new friendships. Many things happen throughout relationships, and I've noticed that with my mom, I tend to clinch into what is, and I don't want most of the things to change. And I think this might sound familiar to you. Because we as humans, we tend to do that, and our ego just tells us, you know, if this changes, who knows what's going to happen. So it's sort of like fear of the unknown, that it's always sort of within us. And because I am not allowing change to flow freely and welcoming everything that's new, that makes me be on one side of the duality more than the other. You know, we talked about duality, how one cannot be without the other. So there isn't any left if there isn't a right side, right? There isn't day if there isn't night, and so on. So I am now per se in the night area for a long time because I'm I'm really attaching to what it was, and I don't want anything to change. And so one of the great ideas and things that have worked for me when that happens, especially with change, and you can practice this if that's ever happened to you in your relationships, I'm sure it has, welcoming the thing that has taken me out of the night side is to focus on what is it that is the essence of a relationship. Because the essence of a relationship, it's never changing. It's never ever changing. It's finite. It's always going to be there. And how do I get in touch with the essence of a relationship? And so I think that, to me, what brings me back to the essence of the relationship is what I feel when I hug my mom, for example. When I feel her really close to me, that connection, that feeling is our essence. That's always going to be there. And believe it or not, nothing that could ever change in the circumstances is ever going to touch the essence of our relationships with people, no matter if they're family or they're friends or whomever they are, with our kids, with our dads, with our partners, with our friends. And so getting in touch back to that essence. What is it that was so comforting and that it's always been comforting about that relationship? Because that's always going to be there. But because I have been focusing on other things, then those things have been expanding. making me stand for too long on the side of the duality that doesn't feel comfortable for me, and therefore taking me out of balance a little bit. Now that side of the duality is still okay, right? We still need, like, the gray clouds still are part of the whole scenery. It's not like we're going to get rid of them. But the idea is that we live life and flow our love within imbalance from both sides of the duality, so that we can see it and consciously make a choice of where and how do we want to pertain to that reality. And so that is what has been reconnecting me to the other side, and what's been giving me the light of the day, and what's been helping me grow through this ever important relationship in my life. So I hope that helps you, and that was just my sharing from last video. Now for this week, I have an amazing video, an amazing lesson to share with you. I spent a whole week with my nephew. He's an 8-year-old. His name is Adrian, and I love him to death. To be honest with you, he lives far away, and I never really spent a whole week just him and me connecting, aunt and nephew connecting that whole week. And it was a great week because he taught me so much. Well, first of all, if you are actually next to kids, if you have children, I don't have children, so it's hard for me to spend time with kids because I don't really have them around. But if you do, and I'm sure you probably are used to it, but I think that maybe the opinion or the perspective from a childless person can help you, because when you have it too close, it could also be hard to see a lot of things that your relationship with children can teach you. And so maybe that's what this does to you. And if you don't have a relationship with any kids in your life, then this is actually going to be great. So first of all, the best thing about kids is that they haven't been overcome by their ego yet. Their ego is really strong and it's popping out every time, but they're not completely overcome by it, meaning their identity and who they are, it's not yet their ego. Like when we grow into adulthood, it's sort of like we get confused between who are we? Are we our thoughts, or are we the observer of our thoughts? And that's way too complicated for kids. Kids are just consciousness. They're present in the moment, and the ego is already there trying to attack. When they start wanting to belong, they start wanting to say this is mine and only mine, and the ego is attacking, but it hasn't conquered the person yet. It hasn't conquered the presence yet. And so that gives us a great advantage, because kids has a glimpse into the bliss of presence that is a lot more prolonged than we have. And when we observe that, it's just such a great reminder of who we actually are. And keep in mind that we all have our child still within us. We are grown-up childs. Everything that you wanted when you were a kid, everything that you were when you were a kid, everything that I was when I was a kid, it's still inside of me, unless I have consciously chosen to change whatever has not served me anymore. But the deep desires inside of me that mostly are the desires to create, and mostly the desires to be loved, are still within me. And so this was great. We had a great time. We did activities. He went into camp, and I'm gonna put some little photos, a little bit of photos in our videos today. So he was learning in a camp of how to design video games, I'm sorry. And the whole time I can resume right away 3 of the biggest lessons. It's like as if he knew I was doing a series in relationships. 3 of the biggest lessons of relationships that I learned with him
I would say if I'm ever able to master these 3 qualities, I will be amazing in relationships forever. And I'm gonna tell you, number 1, patience. Number 2, forgive and let go quick. And number 3, we all want to be loved and we all want to be loving. I'm gonna start with number 1, patience. And patience is a whole video subject, but patience in this case is particularly pertaining to 2 areas. One is the patience, obviously, that you have to have as an adult to guide children or to guide kids, and it does require a lot of patience, and we all know this. But there's also another side of patience, and the side that I was lucky to be an observer is to see the kid having to have patience with himself about life. So I would observe him of how tough could be to realize that things take time, that in order for him to achieve certain things in life, it could take time, that in order for him to realize a reality that is so big for him, it could take time and effort. And he will get very frustrated and impatient sometimes. And so that would prompt me to speak out loud words of patience that were also meant to be for me. Because don't you feel you need an extra load of patience in your life? Not only for your kids, but don't you feel like you need patience for your relationship? For when you come from work and home and your partner is in a bad mood, or when you everything has been a bad day and something else happens, or when you're at work and you can't believe that one thing you hate happens again and again. And so life requires a big amount of patience, and I think kids are a great sponsors, I would say, of patience, because they're there to remind you every second that patience is the way. That patience is the way to guide them, that patience is the way to show them, that patience is the way to teach them, and that patience is the way for love. That there's nothing you can teach them about love that will not require you modeling patience. And so patience is huge. Patience is big. Patience is that tool that reminds you that life is not always the ideal that you have in your mind, and that is actually great. That is really good that life is not the ideal you have in your mind, because if you decide to choose patience to go through that disappointment, then when you realize the infinite possibilities that life has for you, that is way bigger than the idea that you have in your mind, then the joy is a lot even bigger. Then disappointment completely disappears. So really, patience is key, and Adrian was there teaching me that the whole time. You have no idea how many times I had to say, be patient. And in reality, because we're all a reflection or projection of our life, I was just talking to myself. I was just telling myself, be patient. Second one. The second one is the realization that we are here only for 2 things. One is to be loved, and the other one is to be loving. And that assumes that we're here to experience love. That is what I believe. But through my experience with Adrian this week, I'm only going to talk about being loved. And I think the realization in a deeper level that what we all want in everything that we do, in any behavior that we do, is that we want to be acknowledged, we want to be seen, and we want to be heard. And those three are the same thing as we want to be loved. Because when we're heard, we feel loved. When we've been seen, we feel loved. And when we've been acknowledged, we feel loved. And so kids have this crazy desire in everything they do to be seen, to be acknowledged, and to be heard. And in Adrian's case, it was sometimes, you know, in your face, because kids can go like, hey, look at what I did, you know, this is me, take a picture of me. But there's also that situation and that behavior where, you know, I'm crying and I'm doing a tantrum, but really what I want is your attention. I want you to acknowledge my pain. I want you to hear what I'm saying. I want you to acknowledge how uncomfortable I am, because I don't know what to do. So that equals I want to be loved. And I'm not saying you should always give their attention or not their attention. I'm just saying, like, just noticing how everyone's behavior or misbehavior comes from our deep desire of being loved and being connected with others. It's very important and it's very useful, because I feel the same. I feel the exact same. And the more you get to know yourself, remember we talked about relationship with yourself, then now we can guide others better as to how to love you, when to love you, and how you like to be loved. Because in the end, the quicker, the faster we accept that that's it, that's what we want. We just want to be loved. We want to be loved and recognized and acknowledged and heard at our job, in our family, in our relationship with our kids, with our parents, with our friends. We want to be loved. The faster you recognize this, then the faster you get into the phase of, okay, this is how I would like it to be, and this is how I can acknowledge you, love you, and see you. And so that's pretty much what I did with him, and it was very profound to acknowledge him when he was feeling down and when he was feeling fun, having fun and great, and to hear him even when he didn't want to talk, but just to hear him in his expressions and in his, you know, in the way he was experiencing the day. And the last one, and this one is the best, because this one's one that's just like modeled by kids so well. And the last one is forgive and let go quick. And notice how I just don't say forgive. I say forgive and let go quick. And just to see how Adrian would change his moods in a second. And you that have kids, and you have had kids for many years, maybe you have 3, you have 5, whomever you are, maybe you have forgotten about this. But observe your kids all the time. Just don't only go like, oh, kids do that. No, just observe how they do it. Observe how easy it is for them to shift their focus and fully be present to a new focus. It's not that they consciously say, I'm going to forgive her and let go. Obviously, it's not. It flows so easily because they're not attached so strongly to consequences. And so even when they cry and do, you know, and they like throw a tantrum about something, it would only last for that time. It would only be that tantrum. It's not going to be for their past 5 years like we do. It's not going to be forever. It's not something that they're going to archive in their file cabinet in their head forever and tell you 3 years later. Kids are just able to shift really quick and forget. It really, the let go part is actually forgetting. They forget that something else happened. And what allows you to forget quick is how not strongly somebody else's behavior affects your emotions. So let me rewind that a little bit. When you allow somebody else's behavior, and it's not always a person, but it could be a company or a collective or an idea or whatever circumstance affects you strongly, when you take it all for yourself and it really overcomes you, the stronger that is attached to you, the harder it is for you, it's gonna be for you to forget that, right? To let it go. Because literally you're gonna have to like take pieces apart. You know, it's gonna take time and it's gonna take work. But the less you let that, you know, overcome your day, the easier it is to forget it and let go quick. We are capable of doing it in an instant. So I'm gonna give you an example, that simple one. As an adult, let's say you had a car accident, right? You had an accident, you were just going to buy your groceries and come back, and all of a sudden somebody rear-ended you really bad, and the person was in a really bad mood and just came out of the car and, you know, pretty much threw up all their bad energy to you in that moment. And so you have the choice to deal with that problem, however you decide to deal with it, but you have the choice to, right after that happens and you're going to continue to your grocery, or you're going to continue to your day, you have the choice to refocus. It doesn't mean that doesn't matter and that you're in denial of what happens. No, it did happen, but what it means is like you don't have to carry that with you as a baggage throughout your day. But because you shift your focus in something quick, a new thing quick, then, you know, that still happens, but you're able to be the same person as you reshift your purpose during the day. And so that's what kids are masters. They are masters of that, and I was really honored to have such a great teacher and master for a whole week. I love him to death, and I really hope that, I miss him, I really hope that we can do this often, and that, you know, then he can come and teach me everything that he wants to teach me, and that one day maybe he sees this video and also learns from his own teachings and from his own reminders. I think we all know this, but kids just serve as a great reminders. They're great masters and teachers to remind us that which we haven't learned yet. And so today, if you're around kids, observe, learn, and be open to the lessons. And if you aren't, use my lessons. If you're a childless woman or a childless man, listen to my lessons, and I hope they actually help you in any way. So patience, let go quick, forgive and let go quick. And what do we all want? We want to be seen, we want to be heard, we want to be acknowledged. So today might be a great day to acknowledge your partner, your mother, your kid. It might be a great day to just listen to them. It might be a great day just to see them. See them the way they are. Just tell them, I'm here and I'm here for you, and my best gift for you, it's my presence. So I hope that helps. Take care. Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching our episode of Be Better Thursdays. If you would like more inspiration plus exclusive invitations and free resources to become better every day, please find the email list link in the description below this video. And if you like this video, please share it with your friends, subscribe to our channel, or just like it. See you soon, and remember to be better every day.